Okay, let's talk about the last episode of Only Friends Dream On. But before I do that, as usual, I would like to tell you, by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, it will be months from now. If you want to catch it early access or anything early, you go on my Patreon and you'll see everything. It is now May 15 and there's an exciting news at the end. But before, let's continue and talk about episode 12. So, we left off with Dean and Jack getting together. They slept together, and in this episode, the final episode, Dean assumed that this sex means forgiveness and we're back together. No, this is just sex. And apparently Jack made it known to Dean that they won't be in a relationship anymore. He would love to make this relationship only friendship. Dean finding out that this was just one last sex until the relationship that he thought was going to be built is over is sad. But at this point, he accepted it and decided that it's better than being nothing at the end. So he accepted being just friends, even though, he didn't want that. But it is Jack's decision. Jack does not want to continue the relationship. Damn, this relationship is just up and down. Bear in mind they had sex in Dean's new apartment, and the only reason Jack decided to come up with this whole decision is because he sees that Dean is getting attached to what he thought was gonna happen, and talked about how he would love that they move in together in his apartment. But this is just some bullshit. Their whole entire relationship on and off thing, let me tell you something. I watched the entire episode and I'm not gonna lie, these two are the only two that just annoys me when it comes to the relationship. The others are okay, just these two relationship. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, dude, it makes sense for them if they were in season 1. I was like, yeah, but I still, up until this day in 2026, I did not know that Mew and Top were together, because at this point they gave off, nope, I will not be together with you, especially what Top did with Boston. And I'm like, it took a real strong somebody like Mew to forgive Top for what he did. And then you have Jack and Dean, and Jack forgave Dean for something that didn't even happen. Okay, so we at Tua and Arnold. Let's recap with Arnold's part here. Arnold injured his foot because, he injured it during the I want a forgiveness from Tua and apologizing for the shit that he did. But he made it worse by going to a swing dance and caused a problem, giving it a way more injury than it had before, causing him to be here to go to therapy. But hey, luckily Tua is here. Anyways, that's besides the problem. After that, Tua is mostly concerned because Arnold is about to introduce Tua to his mother. Finally, we're getting to see the mother. At least on Arnold's side, we're getting to see somebody introduce the relationship in that side. Everybody else has... But anyways, Tua is more concerned that he thinks that Arnold's mother is not going to like him. But Arnold's like, dude, you're cute, you're adorable, I like you, trust me, my mother's going to like you. And trust me, there's nobody in the world that don't like you. You made it clear and made it known that you are that hit girl, like that person that everyone will love. To be honest, there's a different reaction when it comes to children and parents. Sometimes parents can be very ruthless to make that person really show a true color that the significant other never got the chance to see. Sometimes parents will make you see a color that very early before the relationship kicks in, which is good and not so good, because sometimes the parents can be very ruthless. But aside the point, we're getting to meet the mother. Okay, we're at Rome and Raffi, and they're at, I don't even know, a heart place, and Rome is telling Raffi that he want to thank Raffi for giving him the opportunity to meet the friend of Raffi with that gig. It was fun and he liked it. Rafi said he heard from his friend and said the friend said he likes how Rome is and hopefully they can continue to do more projects with each other. Now they're here walking at what Rafi believes to be a date, but Rome is letting Rafi know that this isn't a date. We are nothing. And remember last episode, Rafi is determined to win Rome's heart, which is what he's doing with all the mistakes, quote unquote mistakes that he's doing. And then he did a move that was so cute that Rome couldn't even resist. But again, they are not in a relationship. But the way they did it and the way they were acting caught the eye of some blogger or vlogger. And she decided that she wants to ask some couples questions. Anyways, they were acting so cute. She couldn't resist of asking questions. So they introduced themselves in front of the camera. And then she asked, are you guys boyfriends? Rome said no. Rafi, who is determined to win this boy's heart, because honestly I thought, oh, he said no in front of your face, walk away, the shame. Nope. No, Rafi just like, no, we are boyfriends. We are boyfriends. And Rome is like, no, we are not boyfriends. We're just friends. And Rafi twisted and said, you know what? No, we're not boyfriends, but I am determined to make this man my man. And the vlogger is kind of getting awkward vibes. So she's like, you know what? I thought you guys were together, but I guess you guys are not. But, just in case you guys switch it up, like, you need time to talk this through. Or you guys in a couples fight or what? And Rome is like, no, we are not together. We are just friends. We are not. And Rafi's like, yeah, but, he's kind of playing hard to get. But, he's my man, soon to be my man. I'm like, Rafi, you know what? It takes a strong-hearted person like you to be doing this. And I ain't playing with your game, sir. You go make that whatever. Moving on. Still, the only thing I find frustrated about this drama is for Rafi. You mean to tell me all of this? Like, people are seeing Rafi's side, see how bitchy he was, and a lot of things, how he's following Jack throughout the years like a tail, and then now this. There's no way nobody didn't take a video and put it out as a scandal, considering this boy is the son of an actress. This should be like the biggest scandal of anyone's scandals. Like, how is nobody talk about the shit that he's doing? Like, nobody. That's the part that freaks me out the most, like upsets me the most, other than Gawin with the hair piercing. Other from that, this is the only thing, well, another thing that's kind of picking me off the most. Like, you are the son of a big actress, and there's a lot of shit that you've done in the university and nobody has talked about you. Like, I don't get it. At least if they did, at least let the audience see this too. Okay, it's finally the moment where Tua meets Arnold's mother or parents, because the mother is married. She lives in America with her husband. Things were going great, and let me tell you something. English was spoken. The only thing that kind of crazy is that when the mother was talking to Arnold and then she talked to Tua, she spoke completely Thai. But yet, when she mentioned about her husband in Thai, the husband spoke, and not really spoke, but like responded and spoke a little bit. And I'm like, so the husband speaks Thai too? I'm just saying, like, he only not only, but the wife wasn't speaking English with him. She spoke a little bit of Thai. And then he responded, and most of the conversation was in Thai. And then the husband spoke only in English. And I'm like, is the husband kind of fluent with Thai? Because if not, then you kind of failed on that part. You failed on that part. Anyways, in the conversation, the mother is like, so this is your friend? Arnold's like, no. And he said it in English, my friend. This is my boyfriend. And I'm like, yes. And we got one or two answers from Gawin's in English. And I'm like, thank you, Gawin. Don't let Josh be the only one improvising English. Samantha, what if he doesn't improvise the English? What if it was in the lines? Then let me assume that he did improvise those English. Either way, I'm loving it. Anyways, the conversation then stirred up with the mother. The mother, after the mother found out about this relationship, she didn't give this whole situation a breather. Homegirl just looked at her son and is like, so what is your plan, Arnold? Because it would be nice for you to come to America, live with us in LA, because your stepfather is planning to open a Thai restaurant in LA, and it would be nice for you to literally live with us and run the restaurant. I mean, you didn't even give this whole relationship acknowledgement, a breather, woman. Now, after the mother said that, clearly you can see that Tua was not happy about this. He is very sad, but he's not angry. He's just sad. But Arnold, always noticing about his man, sees his face expressions, and he looked at both his mother and stepfather, saying that he needs some time to think about it, because clearly this is just something just came out of nowhere, and clearly you can see both Arnold and Tua need to think about and talk about the decision that just went out of nowhere. The mother, on the other hand, she read that real fast and knew that the reason Arnold is saying he wants to think about it is because of Tua. So she looked at Tua and asked Tua, why don't you come live with Arnold in LA and you can just run the restaurant with us? I'm like, woman, I know you read that the reason Arnold doesn't want to leave is because of Arnold. Because let's be honest, Homeboy and the both of them, homeboys, just literally started a relationship. They literally patched up exactly the relationship. And you decided to think, oh, well, if my son doesn't want to come, let's bring the boyfriend. Are you crazy? I get what you're doing. I understand. But even though Arnold's life is in America, Tua's life is in Thailand. He has parents, he has family, he has friends in. You can't just leave that and just go with somebody he barely even knows. I mean, yeah, granted, he knows Arnold, but like, just get up and just leave like that? This isn't Cinderella, Snow White, and all those fairy tales. In all those fairy tales, they don't got nobody. They just leave because they have nobody left. Yeah, Tua has people. You can't just think you're supposed to just get up and leave because of love. Now, Arnold sees the pressure. He sees that his mother and his stepfather is pressuring Tua. So again, he looked at both of them and said, we need to think about this decision. This is a big decision that needs to be sit and think through. So please, just let us think about it and we get back to you. Because clearly this is something so, I don't even know what to say. Because if somebody told me, hey, come to LA or come to America to do something while I'm in a relationship, or at least let's talk about relationship. Let's just say overall. And you just build your life in the place that you are in now. Yeah, I'm going to need several years to think about this when, things turned out different and I'm getting old, or not old, but not used. I'm too used to the life I have right now and I want to build something new. Then yeah. But like, I don't know. I'm always in my comfort zone. I don't know. This is a big decision. Stepping out of a comfort zone ain't easy. It's not easy. But let's move on. I'm ranting too much. Okay, we're at Pink Pony, and all three friends, Jack, Dean, and Timmy, are playing one of those games. I don't know, stack a letter. I don't know what game that is, but it's supposed to be a funny game and patient games. And they're all drinking. Yes, I say all of them. Timmy is obviously ignoring the doctor's orders, which technically you're not supposed to drink while on medication. I'm assuming he's on medication, considering he is still injured. He has not recovered at all. Okay, so here's where things get really awkward or strange. Now they're enjoying the game, and then some random guy came up to Jack, flirting with Jack, asking Jack if he's single. Now we all know that technically he is, and I was like, dude, Dean is there, because Dean is the type of person that would just flip out. But Jack didn't even say anything because he thinks that, Dean will say something or do something, right? Instead, Dean just calmly looked at the guy and like, yeah, he's single. You can give him your contact number. I'm like, Dean, are you baptized too? Are you going to the same church as Boston? Because if so, okay. But then the guy's like, seeing that you answered for him, that means you're the boyfriend. And Dean literally said, no, I'm just a friend. Because remember, Jack said that they can't be in a relationship and it would be best for them to be friends. So technically, Dean is not wrong. And how he's, being the newest man of all newest man, Dean is not wrong. So Jack, with his shocked self, got up with the guy, walked the other bar at a bar island table place, and they were just drinking and vibing. And I'm like, I'm proud of you. Even Timmy was proud of Dean, the way he just handled that with just professional mode. Like, I'm shocked. Okay, so it's basically their graduation time and they're partying, and Timmy took the stand. Oh, by the way, the DJ is obviously Rome. But anyways, Timmy took the mic and told everyone that he's glad that everyone came and showed up, and even thanked Tua, because Tua is the one that organized the place, literally shut down the whole entire amusement park for this party to happen. I ain't gonna lie, you, this is the greatest thing about being the son of the amusement park owner. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Some money was lost, but that's okay. So Jack took the stand and thanked everyone for coming, and also Tua. But finally, he looked at his stepbrother, and finally had this one-on-one conversation, even though technically all he said was thanks for accepting to be a part of the play, for being a DJ, but also about punching him a bunch of times. And I kid you not, Rome said, yeah, you deserved all those punches, which technically kind of is, kind of. Then he looked at Rome and was like, so, Rome, like, what's going on between you and Rafi? And Rome is like, so what does that have to do with this conversation? Are you interested in Rafi now? Do you want him? He's like, no, I'm glad that you found somebody and you're happy. And I'm like, that is cool. That's nice. Great approach. Kind of weird, but great approach. First of all, this is an awkward moment to have a conversation, but I guess it's the only time they could have a perfect and only conversation. But anyways, they're in the bathroom. And, Jack was in the bathroom. Arnold came while they're doing their business. Arnold decided to say, not decided, but he said he wants to apologize for Jack for what happened. And he wants to make it up to Jack because he doesn't want this friendship thing to go to somewhere that he doesn't want it to go. And he would love for the relationship as a friend to stick. I mean, yeah, they forgive each other, but the problem doesn't lie with these two. The problem lies with the other two. So the plan is in motion. Jack and Arnold came up with a plan that to get Tua and Dean together, they have to make it look like nothing has happened. So while Tua and Arnold is supposed to be on a ride together, here comes Jack, who fooled Dean to go on a ride with each other, only to meet up with Tua, of course. And then they were like, oh, let's go in a ride. And I was like, how are we going to have this conversation? Are we going to turn back to each other? No. Turns out Arnold made sure Tua was strapped in good and then escaped the ride, and both Jack and Arnold pushed Dean in with Tua. They even yelled at the person that's supposed to control the ride to say, don't start the ride unless these two made up and be friends. I'm not going to lie you, I wasn't expecting Jack and Arnold to team up the way they did to do what they're doing. I wasn't expecting this outcome. They surprised me on this one. But what really got me shocked the most is the director and the producer really got me sitting in this seat the seat itself looked like it went through World War, but hey, they were got to make our show. They could have at least kind of find the perfect, seat that is kind of like Tua, but whatever. Anyways, so Dean is apologizing to Tua. He was giving a long sentence, and then Tua is like, are we done now? You are a cruel friend. Hey, at least we're a friend. And so we have made up and becomes friend, and the ride has commenced. Okay, Rome and Rafi. So Rafi seen Rome enjoying his DJ work thingy, and he went to Rome and asked Rome, dude, what about us? Are we really not gonna talk about us? Rome is like, nope, I'm still here playing hard to get. You're supposed to reel me in. To see how Rafi has to be the one to lure the person in, because at the first episode, he was like, I don't run after people. I make people run after me. And see, it's a bit of a twist. Then Rafi is like, okay, so we're playing this game. You're going to play hard to get. We're not going to be in a relationship. That's how they're going to be. And Roman's like, yeah. So Rafi plugged out the music and went on his little talk about in front of people and asked Rome to be his boyfriend. And I'm like, you are a strong one. There is no shame in your game. And I love that. Now, with the move that Rafi just played, this is something that Rafi never done before, especially not to Jack. So, with all that and the tension on poor Rome had to say yes. That, and he really wanted to say yes. Everyone was cheering. Everyone. Now, Timmy's, the GMMTV out here really testing Timmy's real potential out here. Like, who are they really, pairing this boy with? Now hear me out. As much as I've seen a lot of actors being shipped to this boy, I don't see it anymore because in reality he hangs out with Sammy a lot. So might as well just give him Sammy. Forget about BLs. At this point, there is no one out there. And if there is, give us. The last time we saw him in a BL was in Between Us, I believe. And he was doing great. But for some reason after that, there was nothing else. Nothing else. I don't know what to say. Then we have these two lovers celebrating their moments as the last of their university. But then Arnold noticed Tua is feeling down. And he's like, why are you feeling down? We're together. We're in our last universities. They should be happy. Yeah, no. Because Tua says that right now he's thinking about what Arnold's mother said about, Arnold need to go live with her to build a restaurant. Nothing is wrong with that. Arnold then said, yeah, it's a big decision, but he also said that his life as a dancer and what he wanted is not even in LA or in Thailand. He just needs to face reality and say, hey, such dream is not impossible, but it is hard. So might as well just work until that hard comes to easy. But also, Arnold realized that it's not just that. It's the fact that she invited him to go with Arnold. And Arnold said, and Tua said that he would love to, but his life is in Thailand. His parents is in Thailand. Did we see his mother? Is his mother alive? Anyways, his parents in Thailand. His friends is in Thailand. Pretty much he built a whole career in Thailand, so to leave, that's kind of crazy. Then Arnold is like, they both is like, can we even do this, like do a long distance relationship? That's another thought. That's another thing to think about. One thing for sure, they're saying that they will definitely decide this as a couple. They will not break up. That's a decision that will never be made. So whatever decision they come up with, they're going to do it together. Then we're at Jack and Dean. Jack and Dean are both talking about the same thing everyone's talking about, how time flies and how they graduated. It's been like 4 years in university of knowing each other. But then they switched to relationship. Jack said he knows how much they know each other, love each other, but also mentioned that he doesn't feel like it is right for them to get back together because it's just something that he doesn't see. He then says that he would love to be just friends and go their separate ways. That's it. They're literally just going their separate ways. Jack says if 10 years or 15 years from now they do find each other and they're still single, they can just try out the dating pool again. Dean then jokingly said, yeah, if you still look good the way you are now, 10 years or 15 years from now, then yeah, you'll give it a try. Can we talk about views for a second for season 1 and season 2? For season 1, everyone was like jumping on it. Literally before an hour or a couple hours, it reached a couple millions views. Whereas in season 2, a couple 100,000. I get it, it's views. Great. But like season 1 has more depth, if that makes sense. It has more problem. It has situationship. It has a lot of things thanks to Boston. But in this one to me, it's good, but it's like the situationship isn't as bright as season 1. It didn't give enough as our season 1 is. Season 1 will definitely get you off your feet. Definitely want you to see what would Boston do next. But in like season 2, it's all over the place. It's like, what would this person do? What would that person do? And you'll think Rafi's gonna be that Boston, but it's not. The pilot and the trailer betrayed us. I ain't gonna lie to you. But let's continue. Also, I am still not a fan of this. I loved season 1's purple color and the nightclub type of vibe and the song. But again, we digress. Let's continue. We did a time jump. It is now 1 year later, and you're seeing Dean, and you're probably wondering, wow, Dean has finally become the famous actor that he dreamed of. Yeah, no, none of that happened. Dean is not no actor. He is none of that. Dean is an air hostess. Is that what they call them? Air hostess? He literally works on plane. Like, he's one of those, he's not a pilot. He works on plane. So he travels a lot. Very bougie with it too. Now we're at Jack, and you're probably wondering, did Jack gain his dream? Yes, Jack has become a director after 1 year. Is he a famous director? No, but it is enough for people to talk about. He just came off a flight from somewhere that he directed a play with, which pretty much became somewhat of a success. It became a success, not down, but like, people talk about it. But out of pure coincidence and luck, Dean and Jack happens to meet up at the airport, and they got to catching up after 1 year of not seeing each other, and started asking how life has been, and tells about our career. Unfortunately, Dean told Jack that he didn't become the actor that he wanted to become, and stuff, but Dean also learned from Jack that he's a director. Of course, he knows because he's been following his story all over social media and even helping sharing it to other people. So, of course, he knows that. Anyways, Dean got a call from Tua, hoping to catch up and, reunite with all his friends. Jack, on the other hand, declines. He doesn't want that. But while Dean was about to leave, literally walked away, Jack is like, why don't you go to Tua and just hang out with me? And then looking at it, I see why the relationship was up and down. You the reason. How could Jack be the one that been breaking off the relationship, yet still the one that bringing in the relationship? This is the situationship of season 2 of Only Friends. Jack is the situation. Okay, so we're at Tua at work. Damn. Whoever gave Garwin this sleeveless shirt, God bless you. God has blessed you. Now I do not remember what I was about. Damn, Garwin, damn. Oh, I remember. Damn. Anyways, focus, Samantha, focus. Okay, so Tua is at his work. By the way, Tua is a costume designer for a filming place. That's what he does. He's a costume designer. Pretty much, maybe he's a freelancer, I don't know, but he's doing his job, right? But this guy, an English-speaking guy that was supposed to be in a movie, his partner or whoever he's supposed to work with had an accident, and so the director has a problem trying to find someone to replace that person who's in an accident. But here's the thing, she started naming out the specific person that she wants. She wants a tall guy, tan, handsome, can ride a bike and speak English fluently, but she doesn't know who to turn to. Here comes Tua, because Tua said he knows the perfect person. It's man. Josh is tall. Not Tua. Okay, that's Gawain's man. I'm talking about Tua's man. His name is Arnold. He's tall. He's bodybuilt. He's handsome. He got the abs because she mentioned abs, and he got the body. He can speak English and he rides bike. That's the perfect person, and it is in the reach. Anyways, even though Arnold is busy, he's never too busy for his man. He made sure of that. Technically, he was busy making a second location for Pinky and her bar, but he always makes time for Tua. Anyways, Tua is giving him the rundown of the people that he's working with. He needs someone that can speak English and actually ride a motorbike and speak and go through everything. Arnold with his negative self, he's not sure he's gonna be good at this. It's been a while since he's done this and he doesn't want to mess up. Tua's I believe in you. You got this. Plus a boost kiss. He kissed him on his cheek for a boost. You got this. Plus you don't have no injury. You're good. Do this. You got this. So. Remember, we're going through what everyone has been up to after 1 year. The only difference is we are not seeing Pete. We don't want to talk about Pete. What Pete did was outrageous. But anyways, we're at Rome. Rome is in a tuk-tuk doing a DJ thing. Because remember, he's still into DJing. He's still doing music after 1 year. Vlogging and all that stuff. Because remember, he has the followers on YouTube. And he still has that music thing going. So, also he has fans. Let's be honest. He's doing good for himself. Not something that people would put as a career path, but he's doing good for himself. Now, Rome is not doing this alone. Rome has Rafi. Rafi is both the boyfriend of Rome and his manager. And with Rafi's talk, Rafi says Rome is very packed. His schedule is booked. His schedule is so packed. The only thing he hasn't accomplished yet is international fans, abroad. They need to come up with some ideas to get international fans into the entire thing. But other from that, he's doing great. Also, I have to comment on Rafi here. Rafi said, hey, I might be your boyfriend and your manager because I'm making sure that I get the bag too. I ain't doing it for free. Yeah, I love our Rafi here. We always thought that Rafi is just a guy that run down men and he has no future and we don't even know what he does. He's not acting anymore. But people's skills and business-wise, he's good at that. Oh, connection. Don't forget connection. You got connections. Okay, Dean and Jack. Dean and Jack went to a place that they know very well, but the only thing is after a year of not going there, they turned it into a gallery. But that's besides the problem. We're not here about the location point. So they decided to talk and catch up. And through Dean, we learned that he has been trying to do acting on the side while still working, because we need to make that money to make living. And through Jack, we found out that Jack was in a relationship with a doctor. Apparently, Jack broke off that relationship because the doctor did not really like the dream of Jack, because Jack's little directing dream is just a mere dream, and they don't see, or he doesn't see, any benefit of working as a director. There is no money, income, or anything by going through hobby. So Jack is like, yeah, you're done. You are blocked. We do not want this vibe. And he just left. So now they're both sitting there telling each other that they're single. And Jack is like, so do you want to get back together? I'm like, Jack, get away from Dean. Get away from Dean. Let me tell you something. Out of all the people that I'm seeing, these two are the confusing one. Up and down relationship. I don't like that vibe. I'm just shocked that Dean keeps saying yes. I get it. He loves him, but you keep saying yes. Why? Anyways, where they were started to rain and they got soaked, so Jack invited Dean to change as his place. After 1 year, they still live the same place. I'm not saying that you should have money, but I'm I thought you would have moved. But anyways, moving on. So Jack was in the mood and decided that he wants to kiss Dean. Dean backed away, saying that we're friends and friends don't kiss, right? So Jack said, "What if we're not friends? Can I kiss you?" Indicating that he wants to be with Dean for the kiss. And I'm like, am I the only one seeing how wrong this is? Like, Jack is the one that's using Dean. Am I the only one seeing this? Like, Jack is the only manipulative person in this one. It might be nice and everything, and how it moving so nice, and you guys not seeing this, but out of everyone, Jack is the only manipulative person. I'm like, Dean, you thought your sister had it bad? You had it bad. This boy is using you to get what he wants. The only difference is he's not beating the hell out of you the way your sister went through. But I'm just saying, like, how are you not seeing this? The man used you, had sex with you, and use you to go into his play because he doesn't want to pay anyone to go in his play. Like, how are we not seeing this? Like, put this into reality. This boy is manipulating Dean. How is no one seeing this? Like, how is no one seeing this? Am I the only one seeing it? Okay, let's get off of Jack and Dean for a minute and let's talk about Tua and Arnold. Arnold made it big, y'all. After getting the role for whatever it is the movie is called, Arnold told Tua that the director talked to him and asked him if he can do another role of another movie that the director is coming up with, which is good. And Tua is happy because his man is becoming famous, and now he's saying that if he became super famous, please remember him when you're making the speech. I ain't gonna lie you. The fact that Tua and Arnold are working in the same industry is kind of cool. But it's been a year, and we're here. That means one thing. Homeboy did not went to stay with his mother, as you can all see. Now, because Tua mentioned about, making a speech for one day when he does get an award, Arnold started making his future speech from now and involved all the people that he loved, including Tua. Let me tell you something. Josh, this is the longest English speak in the line that you've ever done in this drama, and I'm loving it. Now, after that fun talk, Arnold was in the mood, and I just want to tell you there was ass slapping in this one. There was ass slapping before we got into the actual mood. But this is not odd for Gowan and Josh because they've done this a lot, especially because there are sportsmen and a lot of butt slapping in sports get involved. So it's not odd. Anyways, things were about to seriously happen. Also, is it a Gowan thing that why he's always grabbing the hair? I hear people say it's nice when they do it. Men, I'm not sure about women. But anyways, 2 hours about to bust it down. Let me tell you something. He started stripping the man and he got him sitting down on his lap. And I'm like, yes, let's see if Tua is way more better of a rider than Boston. I want to know if he can ride. But then they got interrupted by somebody telling Arnold to get on set because he's giving him 5 minutes? Or was it 10 minutes for him to get? I'm like, dude, you can literally do it. You can give him a quickie and done. Because I was this close to know if Tua was a pro rider. Like, what? What? That's okay, you know what? Professional mode. Because the reason why they were doing it is because Tua was kind of hesitant from doing these type of things. They were like, let's wait until we go home. And Arnold was like, dude, I'm an actor. All actors get their own private rooms. So that's why we were this close to seeing if Tua was a pro rider. I was very upset right now. I wanted to know if he can literally ride better than Boston. But I guess, I don't know what to say. I also love how Tua took up that walkie-talkie and he spoke English. I'm like, yes, that is it. 2 English speakers right now. You see, I think if people literally heard these 2 speak full-on English alone without the international people who doesn't know them, they would think like Gowan when they thought that Josh was literally mixed, or they would probably think they're Americans or something like that. But they speak so good. Let's not talk about Gowan. Gowan is fluent in English. I think he's mixed, but he was born in America. So, yeah. But with Josh, let me tell you something. You sound like an American. There was an accent. You couldn't even tell unless you like sit with them for a while and you see mixed style with English, you see the accent in it. But other from that, let me tell you, he did good. Now back to Roman Rafi. I'm not gonna lie to you. Other from being goggling over his man and being romantic, Rafi actually has a business in him. Like he definitely put his man business in a platform. They're in a meeting room talking about business right now. And Roman's like looking at his man. I'm like, this is my man. Like, yeah, this is my man. Anyways, they're talking business, talking about the music, talking about room schedule, but also they're also waiting for a business partner that they're supposed to deal with. And Roman's like, then who are they? Why are they late? And Rafi's like, trust me, you know them. They'll be here. Anyway, are we even surprised that these are their business partner? I mean, Sand is a musician and Rome is in music, so why not? Anyways, Ray started saying, we apologize for being late. It's my fault. But Sand is like, no, it's my fault because I stayed up late doing music and it got us to wake up late. And then Roman started teasing him about, that's the thing about being in a relationship. It's gonna pamper and things. And I'm like, Rome, shut up. You in the same boat. Anyway, so Rafi went to the bathroom and here comes Rome flirting and acting sexy and seductive with him. And Rafi is like, be careful. What if some of our employees come in here? And Rome is like, I don't care. I mean, the more the merrier. Not really, but he says that he doesn't really care because if they really do see two boss acting lovey-dovey together, it's like to show how great the bond is and how our business will flourish. But that's not what Rafi is about. But anyways, while doing all this, Rome started talking about how do they remember how they first met. And I'm like, I do, right in the bathroom. Listen, the way our Rome is rebuilding everything that he did last year in that bathroom, I done told you guys, and on throat, weak. So anyways, to continue this movement or sexual tension, Rome went to the door and locked it. Well, not physically locked it, but he made sure that no one can go into the bathroom. And when he did that, Rafi looked at him like, dude, we have business to talk to with our business people within 15 minutes. And I paused that video and I'm like, dude, he can do it in 10. He can do it in 10. The 5 minutes is literally extra time to wait for their business people. But anyways, when I saw this position, I remember someone on TikTok saying that people who play top can be bottom. I'm looking at and I'm like, you could do bottom. But then again, I'm stupid because I don't know who's top and bottom in this one. But that's besides my problem. I don't think it's my problem to know. But other from that, love is love. Moving on. So we're back to Jack and Dean, the complicated couple, because I say they're complicated because they're the only one that's up and down in relationship in life. Anyways, I need to mention that Dean is wearing, well, both of them are wearing necklace. The very necklace that they left at the exhibition that they're supposed to throw away. Yeah, we have that back. But anyways, so Dean noticed Jack is very busy on his laptop. And Jack is like, I'm writing another script about our life that he would love to put in a play. And he would be directing it and would love for his boyfriend to be the actor. Dean looked at Jack and thought about it a little bit and it's like, maybe you should get someone else to do it. I'm like, wow, Dean, you're being smart. And then Jack is like, no, and nobody can do it better than you. You're good. And I'm like, am I the only one realizing since the start of this freaking drama, Jack is the only one like manipulating Dean to do something for him? Like, that's the whole reason of this relationship. He's the only one here manipulating Dean to do something just cause he doesn't want to get anybody to do is the thing. He also wants to make sure that he's near Dean so he can know where he is, so that way he can keep him in sight, in plain sight. Like, am I the only one seeing how this is just wrong? And the sad part of it is Dean actually agreed and said yes. That's the sad part. I knew about Jack's manipulative ways, but I chose to ignore it. But seeing last episode, it shows more stronger. Now, hear me out. This is probably a stupid hot take, but let's talk about it. Still, it's been what, 4 years in university, a year graduating university, and Jack is still in the same frame glasses. Like, you could have just changed the glasses. I get it, people change the lens, it's more cheaper, yada yada yada, but like, could at least change something to let us know that, hey, I've changed. No, you're still the same bitch. Anyways, the show shift to Act 13. Act 13, break a leg. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. What do you mean Act 13? We only have 12 episodes. Why are we putting 13 episode in 12? Like, why are we putting episode 13 in 12? What's happening here? Did I miss something? Like, why are we doing this? Like, they better not be doing exactly what I think they're doing, because if they are, that is crazy. So the play has started, right? Which means the show is almost ending, right? But as soon as it ends, someone walked in and I'm like, no, we're getting a season 3. Are we getting a season 3? Like, I said it, I dreamt it, I talked about it, but the person that walked in was somebody I never thought of. Like, I never thought of. Like, if we're getting season 3, wow. Listen to me. When I saw Great, I'm like, what the hell? Great. We didn't even start the other show that you're supposed to be in for you to, know how well you work with the other person to be appeared. You recently ended with after Memoir of Ratti, right? And then we heard that you appeared with Bright. Bright just started the GMM TV signing, and that's cool and all, but like, what do you mean? And plus, the theme song in the end was like season 1 theme song, but it's like a remix. But other from that, we might be getting a season 3, people. And if so, we might only get the cameo of season 2 characters in it. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't thinking about Great. Now, if season 2 was Dean showing up in season 1 and we find out that Dean is a savage at one point, maybe Great is a savage. But listen, I don't know what this season 3 is going to give, because in season 1 it's more like a business, right? And in season 2 is acting, like theater arts. What the hell are we going to get in season 3? Like, who else is gonna be that? Now my brain is ready to burst, because I don't know who's gonna be with this person and the other characters and what we're gonna deal with. People, I'm confused. I am confused as it is, because now we're literally getting season 3. Now, everyone was at the event, right? Watching the final episode of Only Friends Dream On, and GMM TV ended that one with a big bang, with showing that Jas and Gowan will have an upcoming drama called Round 1. People, they didn't get their lineup. They got it today. It was the epicest ending, because not only did everyone end off happy at the end of Only Friends Dream On, but we, the audience, got a bonus. So in this one, it's like a boxing type of thing. And get this, the person that created Tempo in this one is the one that's doing this. Like, I'm ready. It's about a boxer who meets a photographer and they fell in love but end up in a loop, like a time loop, and they have to figure out how to stop the time loop by figuring out what the hell they need to do. When I watch it, it's kind of giving Be My Favorite, and it's giving Heated Rivalry. It's giving a bunch of stuff in it, and yeah, I get the tempo part. So yeah, I can't wait. This is too much for me.